there, I'm Rachel from Yarn Over with Arthritis, and thank you for joining me today on my channel. If you're new to my channel, please consider to like, share and subscribe, and welcome back to my followers. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a baby's blanket, and I did do a video showing how to make this granny square. I'm using a 4mm crochet hook, and I use 3 to 4 balls of 8 ply yarn of each colour. To start off with, I made 9 granny squares, and you can see the colour combination I've made, and I'm going to join them together to make a large square. So I've joined my yarn on, and we're going to go through the back loop of the granny square. So that's the back loop there, and then you'll see that's the back loop on here. I'll just go through there and then the back loop. And it's just a single crochet stitch. So the back loop here and the back loop on that square. And it's created a little edge on between the granny squares like that. And there's our first square done. And then we're going to add, so we're going to add one to there and then one to there. So you can carry on up that way. So if you grab the 2 squares together like that, so you're just going to go through the loops on the corner and single crochet, and then we're going to carry on down this row here. So the back loop, now I've finished single crocheting all the 9 squares together. I'm going to take the dark purple yarn and attach it to anywhere around the square. And then we're going to chain 2, And in the same stitch we're going to work another 2 double crochets, and the chain 2 is going to count as 1 double crochet, so you'll have a total of 3 double crochets. And then we're going to skip the next 2 stitches, and in the next stitch work another 3 double crochets, and we're going to continue doing that until we reach the corner. Excuse my brace I'm wearing, I do have a lot of pain in my wrist, so this helps support my wrist. On the corners work 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 double crochets all into that corner gap. So I've been right around the square and I'm back to the start, so I'm going to slip stitch into this first double crochet, and now I'm going to do another round of the dark purple. So to start off we're going to chain 2, and in this gap here I'm going to do another 2 double crochets, so it'll equal 3 double crochets because the chain 2 will count as 1 double crochet. And then in every gap we're going to do 3 double crochets. Now I've finished those 2 rounds of the dark purple, I'm going to add on the light purple, and I'm going to work 2 rounds of the light purple. So I've fastened off the dark purple, and you can join the light purple in any gap around the square. And then I'm going to chain 2 And in this same gap here, I'm going to work 2 double crochets. And then I'm going to work in every gap 3 double crochets until I get to the corners. And then when I get to the corners will be 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. And when I get back to the start, I'll slip stitch into this first double crochet and then do another round of light purple. So I'll continue on with that, and I'll meet you back in after I've finished the 2 rounds. So I've finished those 2 rows of the light purple, and now I'm going to add on the apricot colour, and I'm going to do 2 rounds of the apricot colour, and then I will add on the cream and do 2 rounds of the cream. So I've fastened off the light purple, and you can add on the peach colour anywhere on any gap. And then the corners are 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and I'll do those 4 rounds and then come back. So I've finished those 4 rows, and that's what it's looking like so far. So I'm going to actually repeat these 4 rows again, these 4 colours I should say. So if you do another 2, 4, 6, 8 rounds of the stripe pattern, and then I'll meet you back. So now I've made some granny squares, some more granny squares, and I'm going to join them around, right around the blanket. And I'm going to single crochet like we did on this edge here. So I've been making my granny squares and joining them together, and I've made enough to go down one side and up another side. So I'm just going to show you how I'm going to join these on. And so I'm going to put the wrong side of the granny square and starting right at the corner, and then I'm just going to go through the back loop and single crochet. And this is going to attach all my granny squares to the blanket. If you didn't want to do this way, you can just hand sew the squares on, or you can single crochet or slip stitch them on individually. but I think this way, dark purple. And it's going to look like that. So I'm going to continue on joining these together, and when I'm finished the whole blanket, I will come back to you. So I've now finished attaching all my granny squares around the blanket and slip stitched them all on. So I think my blanket's big enough now, and I'm going to now do a border. I'm going to make a simple border because of the detail on the granny squares. I thought it just needs a simple border. So I'm just going to do a slip stitch border. So with my dark purple, I'm going to slip stitch on anywhere around the blanket. Doesn't matter where you start. And we're going to slip stitch into every stitch. And don't pull the stitch too tight. Just keep an even tension. And I'm going to continue right round my blanket. So I have now finished the border, and it's just a simple border, and that's my blanket finished. It's just beautiful. I hope you enjoyed watching my video and found it easy to follow. Please remember to like, share and subscribe, and take care. I'll see you next time.